Hello, welcome back to Life Lessons from a Lawyer. My name is Peter Hastings, lawyer, educationalist, administrator. We're looking at this episode at the question of justice, which in theory is what going to court, what lawyers are all about. And I'm going to start with a comment which was made firstly by the late Dr. Martin Luther King and was repeated several times and referenced by another great orator, Barack Obama. And the comment is that the arc of the universe is long, but it tends towards justice. It's the idea that although there's a long bend in the universe, it will end in justice. And this was obviously the hope and motivation that both these, in my view, extraordinary men had. But I regret to say, and I say this in great humility, I think they were both wrong in saying that, because I don't think the universe has an arc which ends in justice. I think that the universe doesn't care about justice. The universe will rain on you whether you're a good guy or not. You may have a volcano blow you up whether you're a good guy or not. You may get a disease whether you're a small child who's done nothing wrong or an old wicked person. And in fact, I think that justice is something which has been created by us human beings. And it's a good thing that we have. And I think we all see in small children the sense that they want things to be fair. They know if something's unfair. They know if their brothers and sisters have both had an ice cream and they've got left out. And they know that if the game has ended and they've been cheated, they know that before they can speak fully what is fair and what isn't. And they feel this sense of injustice, which I think drives all of us. So it's a good thing that we seek to impose justice on what I think is a universe which doesn't have that. But I do think this leads us to a couple of dangerous areas. One is that the justice is not my justice. I don't think it's a individual thing, and I think that's a dangerous concept. And we sometimes go down that line, certainly again in the English jurisdiction, because if something bad happens, a child gets killed or something, we tend to talk about getting justice for that dead child or that dead child's family. And of course, we all feel sad and tragic. We feel the tragedy, and we're glad that we're not there. But actually, I think that if justice has any meaning, it's a concept for everybody. So we either have more justice in the world or we don't. And if someone is suffering injustice, that affects me as well as it affects them, not as much, but as well. And so if we have a court case that goes wrong because the jury is bribed or nobbled in some way, or the judge makes a terrible mistake, that injustice, it doesn't affect me directly because I'm not going to prison for it. But it is still bad that I'm living in a country where that is happening, because it could happen to me tomorrow. So the fact that that person has suffered injustice affects all of us. And it's important in imposing worldwide solutions, I think, and how we look at our fellow human beings. So, for example, we did reach a stage during the COVID pandemic in the UK where we actually had a vaccine quite early, and we were dishing it out quite early, and we bought up loads of stocks of vaccine, and we had way more than we needed, just in case. And there were other parts of the world which didn't have any. And this exposed the fallacy of the individual justice, because having an individual vaccine obviously was a completely useless nonsense, because if half the world was still going to have COVID, the rest of us who have been vaccinated were still going to be at risk, because it would still carry on, it would mutate, the vaccine would be less effective, and we all suffer. So you either have a vaccine for everyone for a pandemic, a global pandemic, or you don't. And the more people that have it, the better for all of us. And it's the same with justice, I think. That's just my opinion. But I think when we're looking for justice and we're trying to deal with injustice with our relations and our friends and work colleagues, it's important to remember that it's not for me, it's for everybody. Thanks again. See you next time.